So basically in this video, I will be discussing Jeremy Scott, but I will not be discussing his personal life, obviously, because I do not think that anybody cares about that. I will be discussing his role as Moschino's current creative director though. So his first ever collection for the brand was the fall 2014 collection, and this collection was actually titled Fast Fashion because it was basically him criticizing the idea of fast fashion. And I actually think that that is a very interesting concept, but the execution was terrible. Like, the collection was literally McDonald's infested, and he had the McDonald's logo and the McDonald's signature colors plastered on half the pieces, and honestly the whole thing was so distasteful and the colors are so garish. Like, who wants to walk out there and look like a mustard bottle? And he also had a few models walk out on the catwalk in actual SpongeBob merchandise, which honestly makes no sense. I mean, what even is the relevance? And I feel like that defines two of Jeremy's character traits: immaturity and unoriginality. But Jeremy was actually very thoughtful of all the people who are incapable of affording nutritionists and dietitians, and thus he decided to print actual nutritional facts on dresses. Okay, so his next collection was the Spring 2015 collection, and this collection was actually very successful, and it was mainly recognized for how vibrant and cheerful it is, and also for the Barbie theme that prevailed throughout the show. And this collection actually helped rejuvenate the essence of Moschino, and it also established Jeremy as one of the world's most prominent fashion designers. The next collection was the Fall 2015 collection, and this collection was actually nothing special or interesting, and the only notable thing about it was the fact that it was basically an advertisement for Looney Tunes. I have no idea why, but for some reason Jeremy wanted to promote their company, and he did so by printing several Looney Tunes characters on multiple pieces. The Spring 2016 collection. Now, for this collection, Jeremy was actually inspired by road rage and traffic light violators, and he decided that he has had enough. So he basically wanted to ensure that each and every single pedestrian and driver feels safe on the streets, and he decided to do so by releasing a bunch of traffic cones on the catwalk. And this collection was actually very impactful since it literally inspired the invention of static dusters and of car wash machines. And it also revolutionized makeup as we know it today by featuring the first ever draft of the design of the mascara stick. Now, the Spring 2017 collection. So basically, for this collection, Jeremy proved to us that he is capable of attaching stickers to human beings. And I personally think that this talent is actually extremely underrated, and I feel like Jeremy deserves more praise and more appreciation for having it. In all honesty, I actually love this collection, and I think that the pieces are very glamorous. But what I fail to understand is, why did he have to print the creases and the shadows instead of making them out of actual fabric? The Fall 2017 collection. So in this collection, Jeremy basically showed us that if you ever run out of fabric, you could just simply walk to a construction site and you could grab any of the equipment available: cardboard, duct tapes, glue, boxes, trash bags, bubble wrap, anything, and you could construct a garment for yourself. I actually find the concept thought-provoking, and I'm not exactly sure what the message was, but I think that it was basically a commentary on recycling and how essential it is. Like, even if you end up having to produce clothes out of trash bags, then you should do it. And I do actually like how eccentric the collection is. It's just that the interpretation is so dull and unimaginative. And I personally dislike how literal it was. I mean, to me, it just feels lazy. So moving on to the Spring 2018 collection, and this collection was basically a tribute to Jeremy's lack of creativity and originality. And honestly, the only visually appealing thing about this collection was the punk rock segment, but even that has been done before a million times. He also had some models dressed as gardens and as actual humongous flower bouquets walk down the catwalk, and honestly, all of these pieces had a horrible construction and a horrible fitting, and they are extremely impractical. and they all look like they will fall apart the instant the tape becomes loose. The Fall 2018 men's collection. So basically, in this collection, Jeremy wanted to introduce us to one of his new interests, like this activity that he has been indulging with, BDSM. And this is actually something that was done various times in the past by the likes of Mugler and Jean-Paul Gaultier, but at least they had the courtesy to do it innovatively. And I actually like this collection, but I feel like it is something extremely unnecessary for a designer brand to produce if a unique twist won't be added. Okay, so overall, I think that Jeremy Scott has consistently proven to everybody that he does not have the requisite skills to be the creative director of a designer brand. Like, most of his pieces are referential, and there's obviously nothing wrong with being referential. It's just that his execution is extremely literal, and it honestly feels so lazy. And if he does ever come up with his own idea, the idea is often extremely impractical and very lackluster. And I do admire the fact that he does not conform to the general standardized idea of what a luxury brand should be about, but each and every single luxury brand has a few qualities in common, such as opulence, sophistication, elegance, and honestly, Moschino lacks all of that under his direction. Also, what I do not understand is why does he constantly feel the need to incorporate icons and figures that do not belong to him in his collections? Like, why can't he just come up with his own symbols? Like, he should honestly consider submitting his resume to Disney. I'm sure they'd hire him instantly. And I do also understand the fact that he is a conceptual designer, but the thing is that most of his concepts aren't even wearable, and they are only suitable for display on a mannequin and not on a human being. And I know that he has a frivolous sense of humor that he likes to portray in his collections, but I wish that he would infuse that with a sense of glamour. Like, so many of his pieces look like actual DIY projects that I could do by myself. And I do think that he should not have to sacrifice his vision as a compromise, but I also think that he should realize that Moschino is not one of his multiple projects, and I feel like he should have more value for the brand. If there is anything you'd like to comment on or anything you'd like to say, then please leave it in the comment section below. And if you are interested in fashion related content, then don't forget to subscribe, and you could also follow me on my social media accounts provided in the description. Thank you very much for watching.